welcome back to the Cup of Joe show. I'm Joe, that's Jeremy. That's how we do it. This is how we do it. Alright.
It's Friday night.
We're gonna have a great show, obviously. A show has never started better than that.
Although it's Saturday morning.
Yeah, true. True, good point.
Yes.
But hey, we have synchronized our tops. Look at this. Blue with the green undershirt. Yes. We're ready to go. We are, well, one of us is clean cut, but, you know, the other isn't so much. Well, you decide to, see, which one of us is clean cut and looks better. It's me, but, anyway. What, in the comment section, like, no, it's Jeremy, you loser. Kill yourself. Like, okay. But anyway, we have a jam-packed show. Actually, we don't, but I'm sure it'll go 20 minutes anyway, judging by this extended opening. So, we didn't really get out to see any movies, but I think that's okay because there's really nothing in. I mean, that's just period. And we gave you 2 movies last week, so I guess that was your treat. And this week, I'm sorry, I'm just not paying money to see these other not movies that are not good.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll understand that. But what we can talk about is we could jump right into the box office.
Hooray. That was enthusiastic.
It was very enthusiastic. Jeremy loves the box office, and it's, it really shows from week to week.
I really do genuinely love it. I tend not to be a very enthusiastic person.
Yeah.
But when I do show enthusiasm, I really care.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Okay, 5th place last week went to Noah, and that was down 56% to 7.5 million. Had a total of just under 85. Since its solid opening, it has just capsized. Boat pun.
That's great.
And I don't even know if I can get to 100. It might make 95, which is that's just bad legs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it happens. Whatever. It's still solid. Okay. 4th place went to Draft Day. That made 9.8 million, and expectations weren't that high, and Draft Day still failed to reach those low expectations, which had it pegged more around 12-ish million, and I don't know. I guess it just it looked like the poor man's Moneyball. That's not my thought. I'm stealing that from somewhere. I read that somewhere, but I think that sums it up well. It didn't, if you're as I believe Joe said last week, if you're really into the whole managerial front office stuff when it comes to sports, and then it's your kind of movie. But I don't think very many people are that into that.
Does it have its budget yet?
No.
No. Okay.
I can't imagine it's very high, and half of it is probably Kevin Costner's paycheck.
Yeah.
So. Okay, 3rd place went to Oculus, and that opened to 12 million, which that's about right. It's a horror movie. It didn't look particularly interesting. Didn't seem to stand out in any way. The budget was only 5 million, so it's already profitable. 2nd place was the debut of Rio 2, and that opened to 39.2 million. That's right about in line with the first Rio, and that's solid. I mean, that's good that they kept the business. I don't think it was really expected to increase much over the first one. So considering that this weekend is Easter weekend and some kids will be off from school and whatnot, it should hold pretty well this weekend, and really doesn't have much competition for kids and families in the weeks ahead. So Rio 2 could do all right for itself. And that leaves us with our number one picture, number one for 2 weeks in a row now, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And this was down 57% to 41.3 million, bringing its total to 158.9. And that, I gotta be honest, I was kind of expecting and hoping it would hold a bit better, given the strong word of mouth and the reviews. It held just slightly better than Thor: The Dark World, which isn't an apples to apples comparison because Captain America did open higher than Thor, and the higher you open, the harder it is to, maintain that. So, I mean, all things considered, that's a pretty solid hold, and like Rio 2, this is a holiday weekend, so Captain America should hold much better than Thor: The Dark World did in its third weekend, when Thor didn't have a holiday weekend and was going up against Catching Fire. So Thor collapsed in its third weekend, whereas I think The Winter Soldier should hold pretty well and increase its already pretty substantial lead over Thor.
I agree with that, and that was the box office from Jeremy Evans.
That's my name.
Has anyone ever done it?
I
Jeremy
I
Evans.
don't think
No?
so. I don't think I really have a cool enough last name to. I don't really think that works.
Oh, Evans is awesome.
Son of Evans.
So,
That's what it means.
it's great. That was good stuff. So we've got. Interestingly enough, I think that Noah has a solid rating at Rotten Tomatoes,
Mm-hmm.
but the word of mouth on that is horrible.
Yeah, I think people are just kind of pissed that it takes so many liberties with the biblical story.
Yeah. Like, I have not heard one good thing about that movie. I've heard a bunch of opinions. Like, it's just like, don't see Noah. Don't go see Noah. So, I mean, I don't know anything about it, obviously. We didn't see it. Didn't find it interesting enough to go see it. I don't know. But I heard Emma Watson was, like, terrible in it, and, like, I guess I could see that. But, anyway, yeah, terrible word of mouth, so that's probably why it's really crashing and might not even make 100 million.
Yeah.
As far as draft day goes, I guess I want to just say that the production budget's probably not very high.
Can't be.
The only so I don't want to say it's going to be a success, but like listening to an interview that Kevin Costner did on First Take, he was just kind of like, it's a low budget film. It's good. It's got a good script. There's people, there's football people in it, and it's interesting. But he was just kind of like, it's not going to make that much money, but it's pretty good. So, I mean, judging by what he said, I don't think they expected it to do very well, and I think I don't want to say it'll benefit, but I think it'll make enough money to profit. But again, I'd like to see those production budget numbers come in. But, especially with draft day actually coming, maybe people will go out to see it. Who knows?
Another thing I think has to be factored in with draft day is, since it's about American football, I don't even know if it'll get released overseas.
Oh, that's true.
And if it does, it's really not going to make very much.
England loves football.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They really turn out for that one game the NFL forces on them every year. Let's get a team in Canada before we concentrate on London.
Look, London wants a football team. All right, they do. I don't think we should have one in London,
No,
but
neither do I.
Yeah,
Canada.
well, they have
Nobody watches the CFL.
They have their own league, and no one likes it.
Exactly.
So
The goalpost, the thing is like at the start of the end zone or something weird, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Their rules are weird.
The only thing I know is that, like, oh, he was in the CFL before he was in the NFL. That's all I know about the CFL. That's it. That's all the information I ever get. But let's see. Oculus, I don't care. I honestly wish they would stop making horror movies. so so I could stop closing my eyes during the trailers when I go to films. And Rio 2, to be expected, and Captain America. I mean, the fact that it's in this month, I think it should keep going strong. I think you're right about the drop, but yeah, I think Easter weekend. I think it really picked the right month to come out.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was a brilliant scheduling move by Disney and Marvel.
Right, definitely. So that's your box office. Now we have to touch on all the movies coming out this weekend, which there actually are a ton. Yep. So let's and then X-Men will be coming out in May.
There's a commercial on the television right now.
Do you think I don't think they'll be able to see it. Hang on. There it is.
Aw, yeah.
That's awesome. X-Men! X-Men! They're all there.
And Iceman is finally, iced up.
Yeah, right?
Finally.
I know. So anyway, now that our video is going to be taken down for copyright infringement, you'll never see this. Anyway. So we have 4 movies coming out this weekend, and one of them is not X-Men, unfortunately. We've got... Wait a minute. I have 5 here. What is this? What is this? Fading Gigolo?
I don't count movies that aren't being wide released.
I know, but this Fading Gigolo, I don't know what we have here.
It's Gigilo.
Oh, it is. It is Gigilo. Sorry, it's not Gigolo. Okay.
It's Gigolo.
It should be Gigolo. I think it should be. All right. Well, geez, what do we even start with?
I usually like to start with the worst and/or smallest release movie. So let's go with A Haunted House 2.
Okay, A Haunted House 2. This has to be a joke. No, it is a spoof movie, but the thing is that this is going to rival Grown Ups 2 for the most unnecessary sequel ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the rating on the first A Haunted House was, but
I'd be shocked if it was over 30.
Yeah, I mean this is 7, and I don't know. I'm thinking that A Haunted House was also in the single digits, so I don't get this release, but it's probably such a low production budget that it'll
$3
profit.
million.
Yeah, so it'll profit. So I mean, I guess it makes somewhat more sense in that sense. But I saw that, I'm just like, wow, how did that even happen? Do you have any thought? Because we're not going to see that.
No, absolutely not.
I don't think anybody should.
I forget offhand what the first one opened to, but I think it was mid-teens, and I think it was it was 19 or 20-ish, and then it made 40. So obviously its legs were awful. So I expect the second one to actually open to significantly less. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't crack 10 million. But I mean, even if it makes 9 million, it's already
profitable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's already made triple its budget.
Mm-hmm. So if the first one did make $40 million, and the production budget was
2.
Yeah. So okay, it does make sense. It makes more sense, but it's just a joke. I feel like movies that are put them on a meter. If the first Haunted House was at 10%, by the way. So if it's below 20%, you cannot make a sequel. There should be some sort of number that that they should make with Rotten Tomatoes or some other movie reviewing website or something.
Metacritic.
There you go. That if it's below that, you cannot make a sequel. I don't care.
Unless you're the Transformers franchise, because I think Revenge of the Fallen may have been below 20.
No, that's true. Well, there's always exceptions. They need to run it by us first. There. Perfect. Alright, so... Oh, geez. My phone's going haywire.
Apple.
After that, what would you like to...
Bears.
Okay, we're going to Bears. Bears actually the
Duh,
highest...
Bears.
Bears actually the highest rated film of the week. At 88% Bears.
That's pretty solid.
Bears, yep.
Anyway, Bears is another Disney nature release. They like to release these movies right around Earth Day, and they're just just documentary kinds of things. Showing like cute animals and their stories and stuff. I like the idea, especially releasing it around Earth Day. I would not be opposed to going to see a film like this. I won't, but I would not be opposed to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I do think that these movies are cool. The ideas are cool, but like I don't have the desire to see them.
I'd rather watch a documentary on TV. I wish that
That's
Discovery
true.
Channel still did things like this instead of the garbage that they show now.
Right. So that's basically it in a nutshell. It's kind of like going to see a stand-up comic in theaters. It's just not something you do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, people did. A lot of people saw Kevin Hart. But I don't know. I tend to agree there. I just don't see. There's just no pull for me to go see any of these films in the theater. So moving on. Oh my gosh, my phone is ridiculous. Okay.
Apple.
Heaven is for real. We'll go to that one. What, does someone die and like they have a near-death experience or something?
It's about a little kid, and he goes under the knife for a surgery and has a near-death experience and perceives that experience as heaven, and describes the experience and whatnot, and that's the gist.
I'm sorry. It's
cool.
I just noticed that. Like you've probably been doing that for like 5 minutes straight. But yeah, I have no interest. So I don't know.
I mean, on the plus side for Heaven is for real. Religious movies have done very well this year so far, and it's being released over Easter, which is a good move. I mean, admittedly, a lot of people will be busy with like going to church and things like that on Sunday, but after church they'll all head to the theater.
Naturally. Naturally.
But yeah, so that's
how much time do we have?
Like not much.
Wow, we don't. Holy cow. So anyway, my sister. Hey, Cecilia's here. And she's gone. All right. That killed, we have no time. Transcendence is the next movie.
Yes.
A 19% of Rotten Tomatoes. Wow, well, this is what I expected. It just kind of looked like one of those films that's trying to be better than it possibly can be. So I'm not shocked by this at all.
I was definitely intrigued. I find the concepts of like consciousness uploading into computers and the singularity and things of that nature to be extraordinarily fascinating. However, I was worried by the fact that it doesn't seem to like in the trailer it wasn't taking a philosophical approach as it could have, and it just turned like Johnny Depp's mind gets uploaded to the computer and he just goes crazy and becomes a villain, which is kind of, and then destruction happens. It just seemed a little too Hollywood, and the concept didn't get the attention that it deserved, which is disappointing.
Paul Bettany, stop following Johnny Depp into terrible films. You need to get in some good films because I really like you, and you need to get into good, solid, critically acclaimed films. All right, that's the message that I have for you. Stop following The Tourist with Johnny Depp. Stop following him into things. We are out of time somehow again. Have a great week. Go see a good movie.